Hello, today we are going to discuss about Covishield vaccine. It's an overview. So, first we should know the mechanism of action of the vaccine. Before that, some fundamentals for 2 minutes. Number one, see the SARS-CoV coronavirus 2 structure. It has the following antigens which is coded by specific genes. One is, see the structure here, I'm dissecting it. Membrane glycoprotein, M gene, envelope protein by E gene, nucleic acid by N gene, and spike protein by S gene. Apart from that, it has RNA. So, short mnemonic MENS. You are aware of that. Next is, what is the function of the S protein? Everybody knows human cell has the receptor ACE2 along with co-receptor TMPRSS2. When the virus enters, it has the tropism over ACE2 and the spike protein attaches. That is the first step in the pathogenesis. Then the virus enters into the cell, it multiplies, it causes the manifestations. So if we want to prevent the viral infection, the best method, the best stage is here. If it is not enter into the cell, it won't cause disease. Basic. So there are two possibilities. Either we need to destroy the spike protein or we need to destroy the ACE2 receptor. ACE2 receptor has multiple functions. So we cannot easily destroy that ACE2 receptor. So it's ideal to target spike protein. So based on the concept, there are different vaccines are there targeting the spike protein. One is Covishield. We'll see the mechanism of action. Yes, it's a recombinant vaccine. Before that, I want to talk about what is AD26 virus. There is a virus called adenovirus. It has double-stranded DNA envelope virus. It's a known pathogen to human being. Many serotypes are there. More than 55 serotypes are available. It causes epidemic keratoconjunctivitis, pharyngoconjunctival fever, hemorrhagic cystitis, infantile diarrhea, many diseases. So they choose one virus called AD26 serotype. This virus inefficient to replicate in the body. It cannot replicate. That means they did one modification in this virus. They deleted E1 gene. So once the E1 gene got deleted, this virus cannot multiply inside the body. Next is the important advantage why they choose adenovirus. It has enough space to accommodate transgenes. So if we insert any gene, there should be some space. It has enough space, so it acts as a best vector. One among the best vector for recombinant vaccine is adenovirus. So we are taking S gene of the SARS-CoV-2. That gene will code for spike protein. So we are inserting this S gene into the DNA of adenovirus. So this process is called recombination. After successful insertion, that virus is called recombinant vector virus. So now it's the recombinant vector virus. This virus has the DNA which contains the gene for the production of spike protein of coronavirus, SARS-CoV-2. So now we understand why we choose AD26 virus, 26 serotype. So it cannot multiply. That's the key point. Or we shortly call replication deficient virus. Next is what the vaccine contains. Vaccine contains these viruses. That means vector viruses, either available in vial or available in the preloaded syringe. How much amount? Usually a dose is 0.5 ml. Each 0.5 ml of the vaccine contains around 5 into 10 to the power 10 virus particles. We shortly call VP. 5 into 10 to the power 10 viral particles. That is the usual composition of this vaccine. Next is, see the mechanism. Mode of is injection intramuscular. So after successful injection, this virus enter into the body. So how the virus works, how the vaccine works. See here, this is the adenovirus which contains the genome S gene of the SARS-CoV-2. As usual, any other virus, it attached to the human cell. Next, the nuclear capsid will enter into the cell. That's called entry. Then the viral genome, it enter into the nucleus and attach to the host nucleus. Here one more recombination. So once it attached to the host nucleus, what it does, it produces mRNA, because ultimate function of the DNA is making proteins. Human DNA makes human proteins, viral DNA makes viral proteins. So the viral DNA, it start producing mRNA, messenger RNA. So messenger RNA involved in protein synthesis. You know the steps: transcription, translation. So the messenger RNA, it came to cytoplasm. After it came to cytoplasm, it start producing spike proteins. This spike protein of the coronavirus. So there is no coronavirus, but the spike proteins are there. These spike proteins come to the surface of the cell. That's all. This is the action of the vaccine. This vaccine does, it teach the human cells to make spike proteins. The human cells make the spike proteins because it was coded by S gene, which incorporated the human nucleus. So once the spike proteins came to the surface, what the immune system will do? Immune system will not recognize, or it will recognize it as a foreign antigen. Then the immune system start works. This is the way it stimulates the immune system. So how the immune system works? One is cell mediated immunity. The cytotoxic T cells, they directly attach to the cell which contains the spike proteins. They destroy them. Once they destroy, again the spike proteins will be available in the circulation. Or antigen presenting cells, which take the spike and present it to the T helper cells. That's humoral mediated immunity. Antigen presenting cells present the antigen, spike protein antigen, to the T helper cell. So once the T helper cell recognizes it's a foreign antigen, it secretes interleukin 4 and many other things. It activates B cells. You remember the steps are there: clonal selection, clonal proliferation. Next is making of memory cells and plasma cells. And finally, the plasma cells make antibodies. So the T helper cell, which stimulates the B cell, which leads to making antibodies, immunoglobulins. What happens? So this is our own cell which contains spike protein, our immune system. So the immune system stimulated by T helper cells, it produces antibodies specific to spike protein. They go neutralize the spike protein. And the adenovirus cannot multiply. It won't produce any disease. It cannot replicate. It cannot produce any disease. So no problem. We have the memory cells. When the original, we have a lot of memory cells, memory squad. When the original SARS-CoV-2 virus comes, immediately they know already sensitive with spike protein. Immediately the spike protein antibodies, they go on, destroy the spike protein. They neutralize them. So it prevents attachment. So free from the disease. He may be infected, but the infection may not develop as a disease, into disease, lead to success. Once this happened, then the vaccination is success. Hope you understand how the immune system reacts. Next is adverse drug reactions. Everybody is asking, sir, lot of rumors are there. Somebody says it causes impotency. somebody say it's caused Guillain-Barré syndrome, that people died, these people, 25 people died, lot of messages are there. If any drug or any vaccine has some adverse effects, if there is no adverse effect, then there is no effect. We need to accept that. See here, adverse effect, as per the data what we have now, very common headache. It's not a major adverse effect. Nausea, myalgia, arthralgia, and injection site pain, tenderness, warmth, induration. These are all acceptable adverse effects. Nothing is fatal. And next is common vomiting and influenza-like illness because it is adenovirus. Sometimes the adenovirus start multiplying in case some mutation. Nothing will happen. It may cause pharyngitis, self-limiting one. It's not a fatal one. Suppose many people say this much adverse effect over there. No. In left and right, we are using a drug called paracetamol. In any medical shop, over the counter, or anything, self-medication, first drug will be paracetamol. Do you know the adverse effect of paracetamol? As per the literature, see here. Sorry, one more point. Very rarely people get neuroinflammatory disorders. There is no proper data. Come on, this is paracetamol adverse effect. You can have thrombocytopenia, tachycardia, vomiting, hepatic failure, hepatic necrosis, angioneuritic edema, anaphylactic shock, Stevens-Johnson syndrome, toxic epidermal necrolysis, flushing, pruritus, rash, urticaria. If you propagate this, nobody will purchase paracetamol. Nobody will consume paracetamol. So always there should be some effect. See the percentage, whether it's common or uncommon. Okay. So based on that, still we have some data. We are collecting some data. We are expecting some data. I will update that. But till now, the vaccine is safe. And recently I got the message from Bangalore. Do not consume alcohol for 45 days after vaccination. If we say this, it will create, many people may not take vaccine. You want vaccine or alcohol, many people ready to choose alcohol rather than vaccine. But it's a very good advice. Scientifically, the chronic alcoholic has liver problem. The liver problem may make them immunocompromised, or it may affect the vaccine efficacy. That's the reason they advised, do not consume alcohol for 45 days. We got the history experience from Russia. It's advice, but we need to study more. Take home messages. Number one, it is chimpanzee adenovirus with novel coronavirus combination. It's a recombinant replication deficient chimpanzee adenovirus vector encoding SARS-CoV-2 spike glycoprotein. That's the explanation for that. Intramuscular 2 doses. One is on 0, another one is 28 days apart from that, or it may be 4 to 6 weeks acceptable. Not exactly 4 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks acceptable. No interchangeability of the vaccine is advocated. Covaxin means you need to follow Covaxin. Covishield means you need to follow only Covishield. And please remember, don't have any vaccine hesitancy at present, because rumors are like wildfire going here and there. Many people have vaccine hesitancy. If you spread something, if you forward something, check the authenticity. Just it is interesting, no need to forward any messages. That's all. Hope you people understand about Covishield. Still some more presentations are there. Covaxin comparison and safety data, everything. Thank you very much. Thanks for hearing. Meet you with one more other presentation. Thanks again.